UFC Fight Night, Allen vs. Costa is going down this weekend, and I'm going to give you my predictions over the entire card. This is a card. This is a card of all time for sure. We'll just get right into it. Starting with the prelim, early prelim opener. We have Shauna Bannon versus Nicole Cagliari. I think I'm going to take Nicole to get this one done. I'm not going to go too much in depth here on my reasoning. Bannon almost lost to an Indian, so yeah, I'm taking Cagliari to get this one done. Next up the card, we have Daniel Barez versus Luis Garul. Garul. I picked against this guy in his last fight, and I'm going to do the same. Barez is old, but he has won a fight in the UFC. He's going to be bigger. He's got a little bit of reach. I think he's going to be able to kind of stay on the outside, and when Garul comes in and tries to get into him, I think he's just going to be able to bully him around. I just think Barez is going to be the more skilled fighter and get this one done probably by a TKO. End of the second, early third, I'm seeing a ground and pound TKO. Like he gets on top, maybe gets the back, and just starts wailing on him. But I will be taking Barez to get this one done. Next up the card, we have Alice Ardaline versus Poliana Viana. The lady who used to date Alex Pereira. That's kind of why she's in the UFC, in my opinion. She's 13-8. Granted, this is women's MMA, so that's a pretty good record, you know what I mean? But I think I'm going to take Ardaline to get this one done. I think she's just I think she's going to be bigger, not taller. She is shorter. But Viana's like a tall, lanky strawweight, and Ardaline's kind of like the stocky build for strawweight, I guess you could say. She's not stocky. She's 115 pounds, but build-wise, you know what I mean? I don't think Viana's going to be able to do much in this fight. Ardaline's good at winning decisions. I think that's what's going to happen. I think she's going to take down Viana, kind of just bully her in there. I think she's going to be a lot stronger. Viana does have reach. Like I said, she's a couple inches taller also. She's a lot more bad. I can say that for a fact. Not me personally, but I know a guy, you know. Yeah, I'm taking Ardaline, getting this one done. Next up to the main event. This is the true main event of this card. We have Cody Brundage, 11-9. This is a WMMA record, versus Andre Petroski, old hip shot KO. I'm going to take Cody Brundage. This is in my notes here. It says game time decision. So, when I was doing research for these fights, there's, I've seen Brundage fight. I think I might have seen him fight a couple of times. But I have seen him fight. I saw him when he got back of the head shots in Denver. I want to say it was the Abdul Ralik or something like a big old black guy. Hit him in the back of the head. Took a no contest. Or a DQ or I don't know. Weird shit. Everyone was booing him, and he looked up at the screen and was like, why are they all booing me? And his coach was like, because you're kind of being a fucking pussy right now. And then he didn't end up finishing the fight. So Petroski also just does not have a chin. So, it's communism. What the fuck are we doing here? I'm not gonna pick you to win a fight. He shot a takedown on Malkoun, I believe. I think it was in the Malkoun fight. He shot a takedown, hit his forehead on Malkoun's hip or thigh, and knocked himself out. So Brundage does have decent hand, not good hands, but he can throw big shots. He has all right power. I don't think it takes much to knock out Petroski. I'm going to take Brundage to get this one done by TKO. I think it's going to be early. First round. I think he's getting back into the win column. And then he's going to get another fight in a few months because he always says yes and never misses weight. That's how it goes. If you treat your bosses right, they'll treat you right. That's all you got to do. Next up, we have Ketlin Vieira versus Jacqueline Cavalcante. This is a tough one. We have a man fighting less of a man. I'm gonna take Cavalcante. Vieira is getting old, and Cavalcante is good at staying on the outside, winning a decision. Vieira had a solid performance against Kayla Harrison, though. So if she does get in tight, she could get the takedown and just lay on top. She is a big old lady, you know. I think Cavalcante is going to be able to get this one done, though. Yeah, Cavalcante. She's a little bit of reach here. You can see they're the same height. I think she's going to just stay on the outside, kind of point fight in this one. Win a boring decision. That's what I'm seeing getting done. Cavalcante by decision. Next up, we have Tommy Gant versus Artur Minev. I'm going to take Tommy Gant. Both of these guys are undefeated. I think Artur's 7-0, 6-0, 7-0, somewhere around there. Gant, he was NCAA. I believe he All-Americaned wrestling. I could be wrong on that. I think he wrestled for NC State. He's very, very skilled on the ground. Great wrestler. And he does have knockout power. If you look at his record, it's 11-0, and I think the majority of them are by guillotine, and then it's TKO. It's the guy, if he gets you on the ground and starts throwing shots, he's probably going to finish the fight. I'm going to take him to beat the Ukrainian wrestling. Neither of these guys really fought the best competition, though. So this is kind of a tough one. Granted, they're both undefeated, but what's the level of guy that they're beating to stay undefeated, Gant fought a guy a couple fights ago. I think it was 3 or 4. Northern Iowa fights. He was 10-40. You know what I mean? That's kind of the level. This guy fought someone who was like 28-22 or 22-28. It's just kind of crazy records, So it is tough. But from what I've seen on Contender Series and such, I'm going to take Tommy Gant. I'm pretty sure he trains at DC's gym. I think he's going to get this one done. Gant. Second round. I'm going to say second round TKO. I think he gets it done with the striking this go around. Next up, we have Tuco Tokos versus Ivan Urslan. get my camera to focus back in. Friggin' A, how long was that going? I'm sorry. But yeah, so we have Tuco Tokos versus Ivan Urslan. I'm gonna take Tuco. I don't think Urslan's very good. He's 0-3 in the UFC. Tuco's coming off a win. I think he's probably just gonna ride that momentum. Yeah, I mean, he's taller. I believe he has more reach. Yeah, so he's got 4 inches of reach. I think he's gonna find the chin. I think he's gonna put Ivan away. But he doesn't have the most power, so it could be a bit of a point fight decision. I think Tuco's the better fighter out of these two. I don't think either of them are all that skilled, mind you. But I do think Tuco Tokos is more skilled than Ivan Urslan. So I'm taking Tokos to win this fight. Off of the prelims. On to the main card. We have Nikolay Veretnikov versus Chaos Williams. I think I'm going to take Veretnikov to win this fight. Williams is dangerous. He has big power, for sure. Veretnikov keeps his chin up high. He does tend to kind of back up with his chin up. But if Chaos doesn't find that chin, I think he's going to get wrestle-fucked and submitted. I mean, he's not technical. Chaos Williams is not a technical fighter. He is an athlete with big power. That's what he does. I think there's going to be instances in this fight where Williams makes mistakes and Veretnikov, who also normally makes mistakes, is going to be able to capitalize on Williams' mistakes. So I will be taking Nikolay Veretnikov to get this one done. He's a lot more active. I think he's going to... I think he's going to edge out a close decision in this one. Close decision or a sub. I don't see a knockout happening against Chaos. But I could see a sub, but probably just a close decision. Nikolay Veretnikov. Next up, we have Timmy Kwamba versus Bernardo Sopage. I think I'm going to take Sopage in this fight. There's not much making me choose him other than Kwamba lost to Balagioki. Granted, that was up 2 weight classes, I believe. I think that was at 55. Might have been 45, but I believe that was at 55. Oki's not that good, Sopage was the recipient of that nasty, freaking stupid-ass camera. Technology's not my friend. But Sopage was the victim of that nasty Vinicius Oliveira flying knee. He took that fight on short notice, and he was looking very good. He looked like he was going to win that fight on the scorecards. And then, obviously, Oliveira caught him in the third, I want to say. Very end of the second, or in the third, with that flying knee, and put him away bad. I just think he's going to... I think he's going to get this one done against old Timmy. He's not bad. He's not a terrible fighter. I just don't think he's got the physicality to deal with Sopage. So I will be taking Bernardo Sopage to win this one. Next up, I believe this is the feature fight. It is not. We have Modestas Bukauskas versus Christian Edwards. I will be taking Bukauskas to win this fight. He's pretty solid on the feet. He doesn't have a deep bag, but he is decent on the feet. You know, if he can keep that chin tucked, he is all right. Um, Edwards has some big power. I believe he fought at heavyweight. Um, I think he might be a heavyweight guy, or used to be a heavyweight guy. So he does have big heavyweight power. His wrestling's decent, but Bukowskis trains with Aspinall, so his BJJ and wrestling has to be all right. You know, in theory, on paper, it should be good enough to deal with Christian Edwards. Um, he is coming off a loss. I think he gets back in the W's though. Um, you know, like I said earlier, he doesn't have a deep bag on the feet, but what he does throw on the feet, he is pretty good at doing it. You know, so I will be taking Bukowskis to win this fight. Now we're on to the feature fight. We got Malcolm Wellmaker versus Juan Diaz. This guy looks like someone I know, but I cannot place them for the life of me. Wild. I will be taking Wellmaker to win this fight. You know, he lost on short notice to Ethan Ewing. Ewing's not bad. I think Ewing he has the potential to be a champ at 135. I think he's going to be a top 5 fighter, without a doubt. Within the next year and a half, Ethan Ewing will be a top 5 fighter. Wellmaker looked good in that fight, took him to a decision. He was cracking Ethan. You know, whoa, hey, pause. On the feet, he was landing good shots against Ethan. I think he's gonna be able to find Juan Diaz's chin. He's the guy who had that nasty spinning elbow on Contender Series. Just the crack of the guy's cheekbone when his elbow hit. But that was a close fight. You know, it's not like he was just dog walking the guy and then threw a spinning elbow and put him away. It was a good fight. It could have gone either way. And then he put him away. I think Wellmaker's going to be able to find his chin. He looked hittable. And for a guy like Wellmaker, he's 5'10". You know, he's got 2 inches of reach on this guy. I think he's going to be able to find his range early, and I think he's going to crack him. I think he's going to find Juan Diaz's chin and put him away. Late first, early second, TKO from Malcolm Wellmaker. Next up, we have Doo Ho Choi versus Daniel Santos. I believe Doo Ho Choi, he's coming off a layoff. I believe that was for mandatory military service. He might have been hurt, but I believe, you know, the Koreans, they have like a 2 or 3 year mandatory. You have to join the military and serve. I believe that's what he was doing during his time off. So I will be taking him to win this fight. I think he's gonna dump Santos. Santos is gonna kind of revive, and then it's just gonna be an all-out banger for 3 rounds. Early in the first, I think Choi's gonna dump Santos, not finish him. Santos is gonna survive, and then they're just gonna chuck bombs at each other for the rest of the 12 minutes of the fight. You know, Choi, he is a solid fighter, and I think he's gonna be the Asian to break Santos' streak. Santos is fighting. He had like 3 Asians in a row. This is his 4th, I believe. They were just kind of throwing him at Santos there. You know, maybe this one will beat him. Maybe this one will be able to beat him. Maybe this one. I think this one's going to be able to beat him. In a very, very exciting decision. Could be real close, but I think Choi's going to be able to get the win. Next up, in the main event, we have Arnold Allen versus Melquizael Costa. I'm going to take Arnold Allen. He is a very, very well-rounded fighter. He's really only fought and lost to the top guys for the past however many years, 3-4 years. He's really only fought high-level competition. Costa, if Costa doesn't finish you, chances are he's not going to win. He's kind of a finisher. He needs a finish to get the win. He does have a couple of decisions, but a lot of his losses are from decision. Allen's a very good decision win guy. He could get a sub. I could see kind of a weird Allen sub on this. I'm going with Allen by decision though. He took Gene Silva to the decision. And Gene Silva's running through everybody else except for Diego Lopez. Called that one, made some money on it. Hey, it is what it is. But yeah, he took Gene Silva to a decision. If Gene Silva can't finish Arnold Allen, I don't see Costa being able to. He's got the back kick on Dan Ige, spinning back kick on Dan Ige. I don't think that fight should have been called. That was a very early stoppage, in my opinion. And Dan Ige could have came back. You never know. I think Allen's going to get this one done. I think he's much more well-rounded. If he needs to, he can go to the ground. He can hunt for subs. But he's good at point fighting. This guy is very, very solid in the striking. So I think he gets this one done. That's the video. Those are my predictions for UFC Fight Night. Allen vs. Costa going down this Saturday. In the Apex. We're back in the Apex, baby. This is the best place of all. Does anybody know if you can get tickets to the Apex now, or is it still like the invite only? Or are they still thousands of dollars? I know I looked it up. This was a few years ago, I guess now. But I looked it up and they were invite only. Like you had to be a team of the fighter, or the UFC had to invite you to come watch at the Apex. And then I think you might have been able to buy some for like $2,500, $3,000 a ticket. And then now I'm hearing that they added a whole bunch of seats to it. So maybe they're going to start, rolling out tickets to the Apex events. I don't know. Might be cool to watch. Yeah. Thank you for watching. This has been Wheezy MMA. I'm Wheezy, and I'm out. Have a good one.